got time for a call, so let's go to Ag in San Diego. Welcome to the show. What say you?
How you doing, Josh? How are you? It's AG. AG from
Oh, what's up,
AwakeUSA.
AG?
How you doing, my man? Nice to have you back on the air.
Oh, it is good to be back. It is, I miss it so much. And even though, everybody needs to decompress sometimes, the ability to do what I do and to do it effectively and well is something that I miss. And there wasn't a day that went by that at 9 o'clock I wasn't thinking, man, I should be hearing theme music right now.
Exactly. That's what happens to me. I try to take time off, and then what happens is I start worrying, and it's like, okay, what am I missing? Something's going to happen. It seems that that's what happened with you. It's like you took off, and like you said, all hell broke loose.
Well, all that shows is that they can't hold the world together without me.
Exactly. Amen to that. I wanted just to ask you, Josh, it was kind of interesting what you were saying, is you were kind of like disconnected from the world, and you got back, and slowly people were talking about it. One of the things that we do, on our website, on AwakeUSA, is we're trying just to wake people up and, kind of coming from a Christian background. But we have a lot of people that, they're Christians and they're awake with God, but, they're not awake to the world, and now this is like, bam, in their face, and a lot of people are upset. But I'm not seeing too much people being upset. They're like, yeah, this is really bad. I can't believe they did that. Say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Where are we going? We still get a lot of that.
Yeah.
Did you see a lot of that coming from not knowing anything to just people, sorry, the dogs are in the back. Just people telling you, everywhere, or what was your response when you saw people telling you about that?
Well, my response was that, this is how beliefs work. The reason why people like you and I have had issues trying to convince our friends of the truth, whatever the truth might be, whether it's a spiritual truth, a business truth, a geopolitical truth, the reason we have problems with that is because people hold beliefs in their subconscious. Now, I actually do an entire training seminar on this. It takes anywhere from, 2 days of intense training to 10 weeks. But we talk about where beliefs are rooted. A belief is rooted in your subconscious, so you can't just consciously talk it out. People don't have that ability. That's why people have never been, converted to political truth by being yelled at with a blowhorn. Yet we continually do it, thinking, oh, well, I'm going to consciously argue my point, and you're going to consciously get it. It doesn't work that way. So when we see something happen like has happened while I was gone with this NSA leak and everything, what it does is it challenges people's beliefs so much that they can't subconsciously ignore it anymore. They have to realize, wait a second, the world that I thought exists doesn't. Now I have to do something with that information, which is why the information itself is not the end-all game here. There are a lot of people who think, you know what, all we have to do is get the information out there and wake people up. No, you don't. Because once you wake people up, unless you have a process for them to get involved in or a system for them to anchor themselves to, they can become just as lost as they were 20 nanoseconds ago because, again, they don't have a subconscious platform to build a new belief system with.
Correct. They need a solution, basically. You're right.
Yeah, they need a solution. And information is wonderful, but if we only have information and we don't have a plan, and then we're really not going anywhere, and you get to a certain point where you really believe that ignorance is bliss at that point, because I would rather not see the bullet coming if all I know is the bullet's coming. Now, if I have a plan to do something regarding that bullet coming my way, completely different outlook, which is why some people listen to the news and think, oh, it's all doom and gloom, and then other people listen to the news and see the doom and gloom, but then they also see an opportunity. And I think as long as there's breath left in us, there's always an opportunity for victory. And even if we were to lose, even if the Republic were to fall, I would rather go down swinging.
I completely agree with you. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if we're going to go down, I'm going down fighting. I'm not going to go down hiding. And, I'm Christian myself, and I'm not going to say I'm going to go down praying in the corner. It's like, God put me on this earth to fight, to help people and to spread the word and, to fight for a fellow mankind. I'm not going to sit there and go, well, I'm going to sit here and pray in the corner and hope everything's okay. It's like, I got to let people know these people are evil. They're trying to ruin our country. They're trying to ruin everybody. We got to let people know and tell them, hey, fight back. Do something about it. You can't take this. So, that's the place on it.
Well, and your view is really good, especially when you look at it from a Christian perspective, as you referenced. Then you have this ability to actually know how the story ends. And that is a belief system that you have. You've read the last page of the book. You know the conclusion to this story. And you also know what has to happen in between, too. And I think that the most informed, powerful people, and there's always exceptions, but some of the most informed and powerful people in the truth movement, whatever you want to call it, the liberty movement, are the people who have a spiritual belief because they realize the larger picture here. They realize it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what comes out of D.C. Yes, we need to fight it. Yes, we need to wake people up to it. But in the grand scheme of things, I read the last page of the book. I know how this is going to end. My job is just to fight tooth and nail until we get there. The enemy is going to be the enemy. At some point, like I said to our guest, you can't blame the enemy for doing what the enemy does. You can only blame yourself for giving up the ground you should have held. And it's kind of like golf. Golf is a game of you versus you, regardless of how many players are actually playing. It's only you. And when you look at what you can do in the movement, and you are a great example of doing a lot, then you are fighting a good fight. And at the end, regardless of how it turns out, you win.
Exactly. It's just basically you have to look in the mirror. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
You do.
Yeah.
And, you have to get to this point, too, where you realize, if I'm going to live, if I'm going to die, what is worth fighting for, what is worth living for, what is worth dying for? I think part of the problem is Americans don't have that concept anymore. And I'm not trying to be pessimistic or, be a downer, but we don't. We don't have this, I want to really fight and live for liberty. Our founding fathers knew that their families would die. They knew they would die, but they fought anyway. In China, China's spending more money trying to squash civil unrest than we are trying to fight the war on terror. To tell you how bad China wants freedom. It's just not being reported since they control the media. But those people have something worth living for, worth dying for. We don't have that anymore. We are pacified with the ability to drive 5 minutes in any direction, have any form of entertainment we want, any form of food we want, and as long as we have that and the ability to have 200 channels on cable, we're okay. And I think and I hope that this latest scandal wakes a lot more people up to the fact that, that's not enough. We really do need to be free. We need to be fundamentally free. We need privacy, not because we have something to hide, but because it's considered human decency. And when the government of your nation, and there is a distinction between the government and the nation, when the government of your nation refuses to respect your human decency, then they are no longer classifying you as a human, which means you are less than human to the government, which is supposed to be ruling your nation, which means you're little more than livestock. And I think people are waking up to the fact that just like an animal farm, hey, we're livestock.
Yeah, no, we act like animals. That's the way we act. Why are we going to be treated any differently?
Yep. Amen, brother.
All right, Josh. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call.
I really appreciate what you do. Take care.